Welcome back to Wrestling Flash. In this WWE and all things wrestling video, we are going to look at Tyson Fury replaces Roman Reigns, major surprises rumored for WWE Raw, Sasha Banks and Naomi's official WWE Facebook profiles taken down, Randy Orton allegedly reacting furiously to a WWE idea he disagreed with. First, let's look at major rumored surprises for WWE Raw. Unlike most weeks, WWE Raw has announced many segments fans can expect on the show. We know that Cody Rhodes vs. The Miz is on the cards. It has also been announced that Bobby Lashley will issue an almighty challenge. Becky Lynch will also be present as she speaks about her loss to Asuka. But what generally makes the show is what fans don't see coming. The twists and turns that WWE Raw has blessed us with over so many years keep fans coming back for more. Nobody became a wrestling fan because they could see a surprise coming from a mile away. It was the edge of the seat excitement that the brand was once associated with that kept them glued to their seat. Here are 3 surprises that we could potentially see on this week's show. Feel free to share your surprises in the comments. Interact with fellow wrestling fans like yourself and discuss the possibilities for Monday night. Number 3. The Miz names Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. If there is anyone who doesn't play by the rules at all, it is The Miz. We know that he goes one-on-one with Cody Rhodes on Monday, and obviously, he doesn't intend to play fair. Could he make Seth Rollins the special guest referee for their contest and hand Rhodes his first loss since returning due to foul play? This blemish on his record will firmly get the crowd on the side of the prodigal son, urging him on to avenge the wrongdoing in Kill Bill style. Nobody creates heat as The Miz does, and his contribution could make the upcoming clash between Rollins and Rhodes feel even bigger. Number 2. 2 blondes from WWE Raw formed the Ultimate Team. Love them or hate them, Sasha Banks and Naomi were a popular tag team unit. WWE needs a babyface tag team to replace them in the upcoming tournament, a team that is over with the fans. It makes a lot of sense to pair Liv Morgan with Alexa Bliss. They are both drop-dead gorgeous, over with fans, and at this point, with the exception of Bianca Belair and Ronda Rousey, the most popular babyfaces among the women's division. If they plow through the competition and win the whole thing, it may even create a sense of excitement that was once missing with the titles. Number 1. Paige returns to WWE Raw and aligns with Edge. Fans have been hoping for Paige's WWE Raw return for a very long time now. Since the tag team tournament requires more women to fill the brackets, now is pretty much the right time. Edge was told that he would never wrestle again, and look at him now. Could Paige defy the odds and show up to align with Rhea Ripley and join Judgment Day? Fans would go wild if that happened for sure. Sasha Banks and Naomi's official WWE Facebook profiles taken down. If you were hoping to view Sasha Banks and Naomi's verified Facebook pages, you're out of luck. As of this writing, the official WWE Facebook profiles for the former women's tag team champions have either been completely removed or placed on restricted access. If one was to search for either superstar's name on Facebook, they would be met with this message: "This content isn't available right now." When this happens, it's usually because the owner only shared it with a small group of people, changed who can see it, or it's been deleted. Facebook. This comes less than 24 hours after WWE announced that they had suspended both members of Boss and Glow indefinitely and stripped the duo of their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. This was done via WWE commentator Michael Cole on Friday Night SmackDown. In addition to the suspension and stripping of the titles, the company also announced that a tournament would be held to name new tag team champions. The details of when a tournament would be held and who would participate have not been released as of this writing. As previously reported, WWE has removed all merchandise related to the Boston or the Queen of Glow from their online shop, WWEshop.com. If fans were to go and search for the Boss and Glow, or either Banks and Naomi individually, they would see this message: "Sorry, nothing found for Sasha Banks. NAOMI. Check out these items instead." WWE Shop. It should be noted, however, that both Banks and Naomi's profiles still remain on the official WWE Superstars page, although the site has been updated to show the women's tag team titles have been vacated. The Usos break silence after historic win on WWE SmackDown. This week on WWE SmackDown, the Usos made history by defeating RK Bro in a huge tag team title unification. They opened up about their latest victory during an interview after the show went off the air. SmackDown Tag Team Champions the Usos and Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro put their respective titles on the line in a winners-take-all match. The explosive main event saw the 4 superstars churn out their best effort, but in the end, Jay and Jimmy Uso prevailed. The Usos commented on their historic victory in a backstage interview following the bout. The newly crowned undisputed tag team champions said they believed in this result and took pride in their latest achievement. "We already told everybody else in the whole WWE universe that talking is done. Tonight, we showed everybody what the Usos is all about. There is nothing else left to say but the one thing," said Jimmy Uso. Jay Uso continued, "You are looking at the new unified WWE Tag Team Champions. Riddle and Randy Orton fought until the end, but Roman Reigns' timely interference proved to be the deciding factor. The Tribal Chief helped Jey Uso in the match's final moment, which, in turn, allowed the latter to regain momentum and pin the original Bro for the win. Following the main event, Roman Reigns and the Usos unleashed a vicious assault on the former Raw Tag Team Champions. They even put Riddle through the announce table. WWE later confirmed that both Randy Orton and Riddle were forced to get medical evaluation. It was also stated that the latter had suffered from a bruised hip and lower back in the aftermath of the post-match assault. As of this writing, no further updates have been shared from the Viper and Riddle's medical evaluation. Randy Orton allegedly reacting furiously to WWE idea he disagreed with. Matt McCarthy, a former WWE writer, recently recalled how Randy Orton once turned down a storyline idea involving his family. According to McCarthy, WWE's then Senior Vice President of Creative and Development Eric Pankowski wanted a superstar to reference Orton's daughter and his ex-wife Samantha Spino. The Viper, who has been married to Kim Orton since November 2015, finalized his divorce from Spino in June 2013. Speaking on the Universal Wrestling podcast, McCarthy said the 14-time world champion immediately shot down the suggestion and told writers not to mention his family. Whoever his opponent was going to mention Randy's wife and Randy's daughter. I believe that this was the scenario, and Randy blew his stack. Randy's just like, why don't we keep my effing work at my effing work? Leave my effing family in my effing family's house? Or something like that. It was just like, wow, I don't think Randy likes this idea. That was wild. McCarthy told another story about the time that Vince McMahon refused to air a pre-recorded backstage segment involving Brodus. The WWE chairman thought Clay's acting was terrible and did not want fans to see the footage. The latest episode of SmackDown saw the Usos defeat Randy Orton and Riddle to unify the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Moving forward, RK Bro are expected to continue feuding with another member of the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, at 2 upcoming premium live events. The Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer reported that Riddle will challenge for Reigns' undisputed WWE Universal Championship at Money in the Bank on July 2nd. Unless plans change, Orton is also set to receive a title match against the Tribal Chief at SummerSlam on July 30th. Later this year, Reigns will reportedly go one-on-one with Drew McIntyre in another title contest at Clash at the Castle on September 3rd. Tyson Fury replaces Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is rumored to face Drew McIntyre at the Clash at the Castle event in September in the UK. However, plans might change if boxing legend Tyson Fury agrees to return to WWE. In that case, McIntyre will face Fury instead of Reigns. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns have had a storied history. The Scottish Warrior is a 2-time WWE champion but has never vanquished the Tribal Chief. The two men recently faced each other in a 6-man tag team match at WrestleMania Backlash, won by Reigns' team. As per Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the current plan for Reigns versus McIntyre could change if Tyson Fury returns to WWE and is part of Clash at the Castle. The plan for the show as of right now is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre as the main event, but if Tyson Fury is part of the show, it could change to him against McIntyre. Tyson Fury is a 2-time world heavyweight champion in boxing and one of the most controversial and popular stars in the United Kingdom. Tyson Fury is one of the biggest names in the UK. He has been trading shots with McIntyre on social media for some time, which has led to people believing the two men will square off against one another. Fury's last match in WWE took place in 2019 when he faced Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel. Even though McIntyre versus Fury would be massive, many fans have been waiting for Reigns and McIntyre to go one-on-one. If WWE plans on the Scottish Warrior finally beating Reigns, Clash at the Castle would be the perfect opportunity. Previous reports stated that the company has been delaying a match between the two men so that it takes place in McIntyre's home country on a major show.